everyone, welcome to today's video, today's live stream. It is a typical Saturday driving to work live stream. So if you saw the thumbnail or you saw the title of the video, we're going to talk about setting goals and the importance of setting goals. So these live streams generally on the way to work, on the weekends, if they're not a recap live stream, then they're normally going to be topical. So today, I want to talk about setting goals because it's something I've been sort of thinking about today, and the importance of setting goals and trying to follow through with them. So I'm a person that I have a lot of ideas, a lot of ambitions, and I set a lot of goals, right? So sometimes the goals have like a finish line. They have like a completion date. They have like they're sort of finite. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say, for example, the film we're writing or the 100 series, videos, the 100 series that we're doing right now, 100 videos uploaded in 100 days, back to back, daily. That has a hard stop to it, right? So if I complete the challenge, 100 videos, one video a day, or multiple videos that add up to 100 videos in 100 days, by it's either November 7th or 11th, then that goal is completed. It's successfully done. Awesome. Now, there's other goals, right, that are, I wonder if I can, for me, one of these goals was I wonder if I can be vegetarian. And so at one point in my life, I was vegetarian for 2 years. And there was something that spurred me trying that. I watched a documentary about how we're depleting the oceans of fish. And it just made me think, okay, well, how can I make a change? And, I thought, okay, well, my family already recycles, or we were recycling pretty heavy at that point. So we're making a change for the ocean in that way, right, to make sure that none of our plastics wind up in the ocean. And then what else can I do? I thought, okay, well, I could just stop eating, seafood. And I was like, well, I can take it up a notch. I could just be vegetarian. So what made me think about this is, at the store today, I ended up buying this right here, Beyond Meat beef jerky. And I remember when I was vegetarian, I'm no longer vegetarian, but when I was vegetarian, I would see stuff like this, and I would just be over the moon about it, right? Because it's like, oh, crap, I can eat beef jerky still, even as a vegetarian? That is amazing. Now, I will tell you, when I was vegetarian, this stuff tasted a lot better. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Now, this isn't about Beyond Meat. It's not about being vegetarian, but this has 10 grams of plant protein, so it's pretty decently good for you, right? But it's chewy, more chewy than like regular beef jerky. However, setting goals, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go vegetarian. And I did it. And I was vegetarian for 2 years. And then I just decided to stop one day. As quickly as I decided to go vegetarian, I decided to stop. Now, there was a reason for both ends. Like I said, the overfishing was really what spurred my interest in going vegetarian, to see if I could live and sustain that lifestyle. And then when I stopped being vegetarian, I mean, honestly, it's just for selfish reasons. I really like food, and I really like going and eating different types of food. Like this past vlog was about eating beef tongue tacos, which is on the other end of the spectrum of being vegetarian. So that's why I quit being vegetarian, is I miss being able to just go to random food places with my wife and stuff like that. Since we don't drink, we don't do anything recreational, we're foodies. And yeah, I really miss doing that. So, and my wife is an amazing cook, so she would cook meals and I would miss out on them because of being vegetarian. And I am a huge proponent of believing that like meals and dinners bring family and bring people together. If more people ate together and made time for like family dinner times and stuff like that, I believe a lot of the family dynamics and just a lot of the community dynamics would be a lot better. But so with that, setting goals, right? So I set out and said, hey, can I be vegetarian? I did it for 2 years, and then I stopped doing it, and I proved to myself that, hey, like it was hard, especially since my wife and my son, neither one of those guys were vegetarian, but I was still able to maintain that lifestyle in my household. And even though when they were cooking up burgers or cooking up whatever kind of delicious stuff she was making, I would smell it, and I was able to, refrain and eat like cauliflower wings or like some sort of fake meat substitute, and like, oh man, like I remember cooking out on the grill and like they were eating hot dogs and burgers and I'm eating like veggie dogs, and like the veggie dogs were just, I don't know, really weird, really slimy. Not a fan of veggie dogs, but so it was kind of hard, but sticking to my guns, I was able to get through it. Um, there was also a time in my life where I decided I didn't want to consume caffeine. Again, you guys know I'm a coffee person, Red Bull person. I decided I didn't want to consume caffeine, so I stopped drinking caffeine for 3 years. Um, I legitimately drank water. I drank like juice, and I drank um, like YooHoo, which was really weird. I don't know why I got into YooHoo, and I drank Sprite, and that was really it. So again, that was just a goal I made for myself, and somehow I was able to stick to it. You know, and I think it's important not just to test yourself, but it's important to see what you're capable of when it comes to setting goals. And to be honest with you guys, I didn't eat before I came to work. That's why I'm snacking on this during this video. Sorry, I'm multitasking here. It's probably obnoxious to listen to, but I gotta eat something before I go to work. So I don't recommend, if you're not vegetarian, to eat this. It's not great. So there's a lot of lifestyle challenges you can give yourself, like I said, that are important, whether it's like dietary habits, whether it's personal goals like working out, whether it's gaining weight, whether it's losing weight, whether it's putting on muscle, whatever the case may be. I think setting goals is extremely important. And I think if you're somebody that is sort of feeling stuck in life, you know, uh, all creative endeavors aside, just like in general life, you're feeling stuck, setting these little goals and having something to work for or work towards will make all the difference. It doesn't even have to be anything that is monetizable. It doesn't have to be like, well, I want to get a promotion in 6 months. It can be something as simple as, like I said, I want to stop drinking caffeine for 30 days. I want to be more mindful for the next 6 months, and by doing that, I'm going to meditate every morning, or whatever the case may be, right? Now, a lot of people talk about meditation. I have never done that. Never really, maybe since I've never done it, never have, thought that it would be life changing. But like, I legitimately look at every person who is like a thought leader, or considered a thought leader in this world, or like a motivational speaker, or anybody that is like a productivity guru. And every single one of these people talk about meditation. And it's really interesting. Now, could be something worth trying. I don't know, but I don't I don't get hung up on a lot of like pseudoscience or like homeopathy cures and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that's what meditation is, but I really need like backed concrete evidence to make me do something. But I'm going off on a tangent here. So more about, setting goals and why they're important is, like I said, not only if you're feeling stuck in life, it gives you momentum and gives you, something to work for, but it gives you that sense of fulfillment, knowing that, okay, well, if I can do this for 30 days, I can probably do it for 60, 90 to a year to multiple years, because that's what it's about, and it's not always about like accomplishing those goals, it's about trying them, right? Because everybody backslides, everybody fails, but, like if you can't stay committed to a goal, right, or whatever, or like let's say you decide to be vegetarian and then you slip up, and you accidentally eat some meat, or you have to eat some meat for whatever reason, then it's okay. It's okay, just don't throw your entire progress out the window. Just start over, right? Like, don't beat yourself up for it. So now, goals that aren't like dietary, you know, there's other ones that I've done, right? So like this 100 series video, that's a creative goal. It's extremely hard. It's probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. And time management. I've talked to you guys a little bit about this. I struggle with time management because I'm always going and I never stop. And I'm going so much that sometimes it's hard for me to stop and turn on a camera and document my day, right? Sometimes you just don't feel like it, but sometimes it's just like things are happening so rapidly in my days that I don't have time to really like be like, okay, let's stop so I can talk to the camera so I can document this. So the 100 series is extremely hard. Hardest creative project I've ever taken on. Harder than shooting films, harder than working on like film sets, reality TV sets, harder than really any of that, harder than writing scripts. It's extremely hard for me to show up every single day and put out a video, even though some of the videos are kind of simple, right? Just finding something to talk about, or sitting down and editing and setting time aside to do it. Extremely difficult. And all that stems from time management. So I know that with this goal, right, and setting goals, you start realizing different things about yourself and different things that you can work on for self-improvement. So in the past, I've always thought, okay, well, I have time management issues, but they're not that bad. I still get done all the important things that I got to get done. Through this 100 series video, or this 100 series project, right? I I have realized that, okay, well, maybe time management is a bigger problem in my life than I thought. So now I'm seeking out ways, how can I be better with time? How can I manage my time more efficiently to not only help me with this project, but to help me in all different aspects of my life? So through setting this goal, hopefully I will improve my life in another area. And that's one of the good things about, like I said, setting goals is you start realizing things about yourself through the process. That's why it's not so much about the end point or the finish line. It's about the journey there, or the process, right? So I'm more cognizant during this 100 series project about the things I'm doing every day, and really honestly being more mindful and paying more attention to the things I'm doing. Now that I'm really slowing down and saying, okay, well, I've got this section of my day blocked out, this section of my day blocked out. That's going to leave me X amount of time, when I get home, to edit a video or start a live stream or upload a video, right? So, like I said, setting goals isn't about the end, it's about the process of completing the goal. So, also, we got another big goal here on this channel that I want to talk about, and that is, writing our horror anthology, right? I would like to get this thing written, I would like to get it produced, and I would like to have it out in a year's time. Now, I'm talking about the end of September, early October of 2024. So that's a big ask because it's doing a whole lot to make that happen, right? but that's a goal. And as I'm doing this, right, I'm learning things about writing my scripts that I'm improving upon. I'm going to be learning about how to maybe save time on set, because at the indie level, me personally, I've never really had a film where I had time constraints around it, right? I would kind of film and shoot at my leisure, when I could line everybody's schedules up. But this one, I'm putting time constraints on, so I'm going to have to learn some new skills about, okay, well, maybe I don't need, 15 takes of that one shot. Maybe I can take two and learn to be okay with it and move on, right? So there's things to be learned there, and as we go through that film and the shooting process and all of it, we'll talk about things I've learned. But I definitely see there being a lot of new challenges, as well as new improvements that I make in my personal life from that. So um, setting goals, extremely important. It keeps you moving forward in life. It keeps you discovering things about yourself, and it keeps you not, like I said, not only discovering things about yourself. Sorry, I was watching traffic here because I'm driving. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you satisfied, and like I said, if you're somebody that's feeling stuck, it keeps you, building that momentum or having something to work towards. Um, but I'm really curious that if anybody out there that's watching this either now or watching this on the replay has goals, I would really be curious of what maybe some of your goals are for the end of 2023, or just some ongoing goals you have. Like, do you have the goal of, like, maybe, cutting weight, gaining weight? Do you have the goal of doing something creative, like finishing a project by the end of the year? Or, maybe it's something as simple as mine, uploading a video every single day. Just really curious what kind of projects you guys might have, and whether you think you're making progress on them or not, and if you have somewhere that I can check them out. Is it gaining 500 more subscribers by 2024? Is it, like, getting monetized on YouTube by the end of the year? Like, there's so many different things that I'm really curious, because I like watching people not only be creative, but I like watching people be successful. And I think that's one thing we struggle with in society, is not really cheerleading like our peers, or cheerleading like um, people in our industry or in our field, or just out there in the world. Like, we look at everything as too much of a competition, right? And I've always been that way, and I'm trying to stray away from that mindset. And I really want everybody that I know that does the same thing as me to be successful. And I really try to pay attention to my family and my friends' goals pretty closely, and make sure I'm checking in and making sure that I'm giving them positive reinforcement, or uh, critiquing, giving them feedback to help them improve. Um, because honestly, like, there's no to me, there's no value if I'm completing goals and I'm beating out everybody else. Like, it's good to be the best in your field, right? That's definitely notable, and it's definitely an achievement. But when you're standing up on the mountain and you're there by yourself, it's kind of like, who can you share those successes with, right? Like, I would rather be up there with people that were fighting the fight with me, were like in the trenches, and have discussions on the mountain, or have discussions at the top, and talk about the things that we achieved, and the trials and tribulations that we faced, to complete the goal. So, I think if we just more or less set goals for ourselves, but if we also cheerlead those ones that are, also, going after their own personal goals, I don't know. I think it's just the right mindset to have. So, with that, like I said, I've got some ongoing goals. I've got a few, and some things that go into these, right? So I do want to talk about the 100 series project, because at the end of next week, as long as we continually, upload, we'll hit the halfway point, which is 50 uploads, which to me is outstanding. I say it all the time, but I used to struggle uploading more than 3 times a week, and we're almost to the 50 mark. So with that, I'm going to celebrate. That's only 50% to the goal, but if you want to check out my website, www.drewxcifer.com. I wish I could bring a slide up here, but I can't. Not on mobile live, or at least I don't know how to. I'm releasing a hat, a 50 out of 100 hat, just a dad hat like this, like a baseball hat, that if anybody wants to support or celebrate with me the 50 uploads, there's hats online that you can purchase now. I'll be ordering one for myself. The only problem is by the time it takes to get to me, we'll probably have already passed the 50 mark. So I wish I had it on the day for the video, but unfortunately I won't. But it's there if you like it. It has a 100 series logo on the front, and then on the side it says 50 out of 100. So good way to support the channel, good way to support the series, good way to have something to remind you that, goals are achievable. Because even if I stopped at 50, which I don't plan on, that is still a win in my book, because I've learned a lot of lessons about YouTube, learned a lot of lessons about uploading daily, and learned some lessons about time management and lessons about myself. So go check out the hat. Let me know what you guys think. But I just want to talk a little bit about setting goals. I think they're extremely important. And to recap, I want to know any goals that you guys have, or any goals that you may be planning on setting for like 2023 or even next year, 2024. Because I want to check it out. I want to see what you're up to. And I want to check in and see how you're doing every so often. So that's basically it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. We're getting close to work, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But as always, guys, stay rad, just go shoot, and I'll see you tomorrow. See ya.